In this chapter, we will have a look on all steps which is necessary to do if you are working in ACES color space. As first step, you have to correctly set up ACES color management. Best result produce ACES color management with ACES SDR-video view transform. As second step, you have to identify texture's color space. Very often, auto color space option produce correct result, so it can speed up your workflow. But if you would like to be sure that textures produce correct result, set up properly textures color space. As next step, set up properly color space for HDRI map. As I explained already in previous ACES comp chapter, for ACES SDR video view transform supposed to be correctly pre-graded HDRI map. Second option is to grade this HDRI map directly in RS Domelight grade section instead. Also, don't forget to use alpha override option if you would like to have full control over scene background in comp. Once is scene ready, I can render it out. I have two options how to do it. If I am not planning to use this render in compositing software, and my main goal is direct output from C4D, I can bake in ACES view transform and render it out. It will produce standard scene linear sRGB render, but with all ACES benefits. So now I can save this render as JPEG, PNG or any other format which I would like to use for showcase. And as another benefit, for even better result, you can grade it inside C4D with the Magic Bullet Looks tool. Go to the menu, View, and use Send to Magic Bullet Looks option. It will open for you Magic Bullet Looks editor, where you can play with presets or manually grade your render exactly as you like. Once is your grading done, you can confirm it, and you will see result include grading in Redshift render view. So one more time render it out, and you will have render with grading as well. Second option how to render out your result is full ACES format, especially if you are using in your pipeline compositing software with ACES color space. And in this case, avoid any kind of grading inside C4D and do all grading operations just in your compositing software instead. So as first step, I have to disable Magic Bullet Looks option now. And as next step for correct full dynamic range ACES render, once is my scene ready, I have to switch view from ACES SDR-video to the raw option, and I have to disable compensate for view transform option. As next step, I have to set path where I would like to render it, and I have to use OpenEXR format. Once you properly set up format, you can render out ACES EXR. As you can see, it looks different than render with baked-in view transform. So as next step, you have to open ACES EXR in your compositing software. In your compositing software, check out that project color space is using OCIO color management with correct ACES config. As next step, also check out that you are using correct view transform. View transform in your compositing software has to be the same as is your view transform in the Redshift render view. As next step, I will load Redshift render, and as you can see now, it looks the same like in the Redshift render view before. So now I can do grading or any other operations exactly as I like. This workflow is more efficient because I have more control now over grading, variations, or client's changes, and I do not need to re-render every single change again and again. And once is my comp work done, I can render it out exactly as I need. Usually for showcase, artist needs JPEG or PNG. So in this case, use write node and set a path where you would like to render it out. As next step, define format. And the most important step is correctly define output color space. So in this case, I'm supposed to use output sRGB color space. Once is your output color space properly set up for use to view transform, you are ready to render it out. And in Photo Manager you can see now that exported JPEG is properly matching with view in my compositing software. So now you get an idea how works entire Redshift comp ACES CG workflow.